Hi, welcome to Varenya's Photon Online Educational Academy for IIT and NEET examinations. This is Guntuka Srinivas. This is a free online educational channel, especially for the IIT and NEET entrance examinations. Here, the main concentration is on the basic concepts that are required for the IIT and NEET examinations in the physics, chemistry, and mathematics subjects. This channel is especially meant for 8th class students to the 12th class students. It may be difficult for the 8th class students to catch the advanced topics, but I think if they are continuously watching the videos, slowly they will be get habituated to the advanced topics. It will be easier for them in the 9th class, 10th class, 11th and 12th. I advise go through the videos twice or thrice in the initial stage. In the previous session, we have seen some numericals in the topic of speed and velocity. Let us see some more numericals related to speed and velocity. Let me take up the first, that is a man covers half distance with a speed of v with a speed of v, and remaining of with speeds of v1 and v2 for equal time interval. Have that clarity? For the equal time interval. Find the average speed. Find the average speed. Clear? Now understand the problem first. Man is covering half the distance at a speed of v. Remaining half with the speeds of v1 and v2 for equal time interval. Concentrate on this term. Then it requires average speed. Let us solve this problem. Let me take up the first. Let us say this is the distance. A, B is the distance. I am assuming the distance as 2D for convenient purpose. Instead of D, I am assuming the total distance as 2D. Here I write total distance assumed as 2D. Clear? Total distance is assumed as 2. And he clearly given in the problem that half the distance, if I divide total distance in half, so half the distance, that means that d distance, and this becomes also d. Clear? Now here I am taking a point C. So AC is half distance d, CB is half distance d. Now what it says? It says that half the distance d is traveled with a speed of v. Time is not given. In the first case, first half, time is not given. I am assuming time as t. I am assuming the time as t. Now observe for the first half, I am applying the speed formula. What is the speed in the first half? V, the speed. And that is equal to what is the distance in the first half? D. What is the time assumed in the first half? T1. Distance by time T1, V is the speed in the first half. First half is d distance. Such that if I cross multiply, this one is T1 goes up and d by v is the time, unknown time. We assumed we got it. Clear? So unknown time, we got T1 in the first case. Clear? Now, observe. Here, the second half, d is the distance. And he has given that out of this second half d distance, some portion, let us say some portion I am assuming as d1 distance, is traveling with the speed v1 for a time interval of t. And remaining distance, I am assuming as d2 distance. This is the d2 distance. And the speed here is v2 speed. v2 distance is covered, v2 speed, and time is again t. Observe carefully. Remaining of CB is the total distance is d. And out of that, some portion d1 is covered with the speed of v1 at a time interval of t. Remaining other portion d2 at a speed of v2 at a time interval of t. Why we have taken t and t in both cases? Because he said that equal time interval. Now the clarity in the both the cases, t's are same, equal time interval. First of d1 at a speed of v1, time interval is t. Second of d2 at a speed of v2, time interval is t only. In both cases, time interval is same. Clear? Now, observe, t is unknown. Can I write the second half distance? Can I write the second half distance? T. Second half, that is CB is equal to second half d distance, d1 first portion plus the other portion d2. d1 plus d2 is d, which is equal to c. Clear? Now observe carefully. Now I am applying speed formula to the first half. That is the d1 portion I am applying. What is the distance here? Speed into time. So v1 into time is speed, distance here. Similarly, for the second portion d2, speed v2 into time is d2, v2 into time t. So d is equal to, common is t, v1 plus v2. Clear? I'm taking to the other page. So d is equal to t into v1 plus v2, such that t is equal to d by v1 plus v2. T is equal to d by v1 plus. Is it clear? No. He is asking the average speed. So what is the formula for average speed? Average speed is v. Clear? Total distance traveled by the total time. Total distance, what we assumed? We assumed total distance as v is equal, total distance is 2d by total time is what? First half is with the time t1. Second half is t plus t, means 2t. d1 portion is with t time. d2 portion is also with t time. Total complete second half is 2t. Equal intervals. d1 t, d2 also t, 2t. First half is t. Clear? Now, we know the t1, we know the t. T here we know. T1 also we know. Just I am substituting all these things. So V is equal to D. What is T1? T1 we got is how much? D by V. T1 is D by V. Plus T2 is what? 2 into T. What is T? T is already we got T is D by V1 plus V2. D by V1 plus V. Now 2D by D is common out. So 1 by V plus 2 by V1 plus V2 by V1 plus V2. Okay? Now observe carefully. Here D numerator, denominator goes on. Okay. Now V is equal to 2 by 1 by V plus 2 by V1 plus V2 plus V. Okay. So 2 by, if I take LCM for the denominator, if I take the LCM, okay. So V1 plus V2 plus 2V by V into V1 plus V2. V into V1 plus V2. There. If I take this up on simplification, average speed V becomes 2V V1 plus V2 by V1 plus V2 plus 2 into V. 2 into this is the average speed. Average speed that is required in this problem. Clear? Now, let me take up another problem. Second problem I take up. That is a boy covers a distance a distance with speed of v1 and v2 per two equal time periods. For two equal time periods. Find average speed. Find average speed. This is the question. Now the clarity in the question. Y is covering complete distance with a speed of v1 and v2 for equal time intervals. Now the clarity for equal time intervals. Okay. Now let us solve this. Observe. Let me take up. This is the distance AB. Let us say the total distance I am assuming as total distance is assuming as D. Here D. Now some portion out of this, some portion D1, because he has not given clearly how much distance. Some portion D1 is covered with a speed of V1. Time is T, equal time interval, time is T. The other portion D2 with the speed of V2, time is same, T, equal interval. Is it clear? Total distance is assumed as D. Some portion D1 is covered at a speed of V1, time is T. The other portion D2 is covered with a speed of V2, time is T. In both cases, D1 distance and D2 distance, both cases, time interval is same. Now the clarity in both cases, in both cases, time interval is same. Clear? Now observe, what is the total distance traveled? D, which is can be written as D1 plus first portion and other portion. D1 plus D2 is the total distance traveled. Now observe, total distance D is equal. What is the distance D1? D1 distance is speed into time. I am applying the speed formula to the first D1 portion. So speed into time is D1. Speed formula applying V1 into T. Plus similarly, for the second portion D2, I am applying the speed formula. Speed is equal to distance by time. And distance is equal to speed into time. So V2 into T. Now D is equal to, T is a common. So V1 plus V2. Clear? Now, what is the unknown time T? Unknown time T becomes, D divided by V1 plus V2. Unknown time D is V1 plus V2. Clear? No. Time we got. Okay. Now, observe what is said. It requires average speed. Average speed. What is the formula for average speed? V is equal to total distance traveled. Total distance traveled by total time. Total time, which is equal. Total distance, how much we assume? D. Total time is how much? First D1 portion is T. Second D2 portion is also T. Clear? That means D by 2T. Now, what is T? Already we got. What is T? d by t is already we got t is d by v1 plus v, d by v1 plus v2. On simplification, d goes out. This becomes clear. If it goes up, v1 plus v2 by 2, v2 by 2. That means in this case, the average speed v is equal to v1 plus v2 by 2. This is the formula. Clear? Now observe carefully. In all these problems, we have taken with v1, v2, t1, d1, d2, we have taken variables in solving the problem. When you are taking variables, you will get some complex situation. But the same problem, if data is given, let us say the first half is some 20 kilometers per hour speed, v1. Second half is 30 kilometers per hour, v2. For equal time interval t. Clear? Then what is the average speed? Then directly you can apply v1 plus v2 by 2. So 20 plus 30 divided by 2, that becomes 50 by 2, 25 kmph, kilometers per hour. So if data is given directly in the form of numericals, you can directly apply this formula over there. But if variables are given, you will get in the form of the variables in a complex form. Clear? Hope you have understood these numericals. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for your patient listen.